What is going on, Jets fans? I'm back from Florham Park. I just got home from one Jets drive. I'm excited to share my biggest takeaways from witnessing Aaron Glenn's New York Jets for the first time in person. Today I was at practice and I got to witness this new era of Jets football in person at practice, and I'm telling you right now, you feel something different when you're actually at practice. And if you are a Jets fan and you were at practice today, you know exactly what I am talking about. There's shifts happening. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to dive deep into my biggest takeaways from Jets camp so far. And I got to tell you, man, I absolutely love everything about going to training camp. It is worth the commute. Being from Long Island, not an easy commute there and back. I'll be back tomorrow with my family. I'm going with my girlfriend and my parents, which is going to be a good time. First time my mom's ever going to training camp. My dad's been with me many, many times. Excited to have my mom there. My girlfriend's first time going as well, so she'll see the chaos of Jets land. Oh, boy. Jets training camp. Welcome on in, everybody. I wanted to go live when I got home and settled back on Long Island to share my initial thoughts. I made a video from my car today, and I went into a coffee shop in Morristown, New Jersey to edit it. The video you guys saw me post earlier today, that was recorded in the car, as you could tell from watching the video if you didn't see it. And I edited the whole video at a coffee shop, and it was cool. I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun. So go check that video out, folks. And if you didn't check it out, make sure you do so, because that is where the deep dive of Jets training camp today was. My biggest takeaways. Here's the video I posted 5 hours ago. Wow, 5 hours fly by, man. 5 hours fly by. It was me in the car breaking down Jets training camp, and we're basically going to go over more into detail of what I saw in today's live stream. So go check out that video. We appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in to Jets Media. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn is different. It's hard to put in the words, and it's obvious it's different. He's a different human being. And by the way, different doesn't necessarily translate to good necessarily or success. So I don't want people to start coming on here and think I'm twisting this propaganda that, oh, Aaron Glenn runs practice different, that means we're going to the Super Bowl, and that means he's the guy. That's not my point here. My point is that there's some shifts in the energy at practice just by witnessing how they're in and out of drills, how they are in terms of the players, like what does it look like out there. It's a different environment, and that's the whole element of culture. A culture means you set a standard, and the players have to buy into that standard, and it should be replicated throughout the entire team. And you saw that today at practice. And I think the biggest thing from today's practice, especially from what Aaron Glenn had to say after practice, is discipline. You want to know the biggest difference right away from Aaron Glenn to Robert Saleh that is practical and not about energy and feel? Discipline. Aaron Glenn has refs at practice already. Robert Saleh did not have refs at practice unless it was joint practice. Okay? Unless the Jets were practicing with another team, that's when they had refs with Robert Saleh. Aaron Glenn has referees immediately. Okay? And he fired me up about what he said after practice, because he saw, and I love how he's using the term we were undisciplined last year. Like he was part of the team last year. Don't worry, Glenn. We know you were not the coach last year. You were not the guy that allowed the New York Jets to be first in penalties and the most undisciplined team in football last season under Robert Saleh / Jeff Ulbrich. Because let's not forget, Saleh did not coach the entire season last year. He coached 5 games, I think. And then Ulbrich was the remaining 12. Buddy. That was the energy with Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich. Buddy. You're my guy. No discipline. And I think that right there is the biggest difference. At least you can tell right away. So let's hear from Coach Glenn, what he had to say about being disciplined and why he has referees at practice. Let's listen in to the coach.
With the officiating crew, are they here for the duration of camp, or is this just an early camp thing, and what's the benefit of having them?
I want the officials here as much as possible, and they know that. And it's no secret that we were the most penalized team in the league last year. So that's one of the things that I want to nip in the bud early.
Sorry, I'm just getting ill situated.
Of making sure that the discipline part of what we do, that we fix that now. You cannot win games in this league with an undisciplined team. So all the penalties that we had last year, we're knocking those things out. And we want to make sure that we're good at that. Even the details of what we do. Like, we can't have any MAs. And I know they happen. All right, but we're striving for perfection in that situation of every detail when it comes to offense and defense, that we're on top of that, and we're trying to make sure we be good on that too. So the official's going to be here. We're going to knock that out. All right, I would tell you that we're going to knock these penalties out. We're going to understand that undisciplined teams do not win games.
Undisciplined teams do not win games. That's a direct shot at the former coaching staff, if I ever saw one. And obviously he wasn't doing that on purpose, but it's an indirect shot, because the Jets were undisciplined. And that is the shift that I am talking about. Okay? It's obvious that the New York Jets battled with issues. And not just, like the offense was bad under Saleh. The defense was always labeled good. But let's keep it a buck here. Even the defense with Saleh was undisciplined. How many brutal penalties were backbreaking that resulted in losses? Like, okay, if they didn't have that rough in the passer, then we would have got the ball. Maybe we would have won that game. It translates. It absolutely does. So I'm excited to see a level of discipline getting instilled on this football team. We got BMAC gifting 5 memberships. Woo, we're back, baby. BMAC, cannot thank you enough, my friend. Very generous. Gives away 5 memberships. Congratulations to the 5 that got them. If you guys want to give memberships, you guys can do that, just like BMAC. Tommy Clifford, who I saw again today, I believe, in the parking lot. K-Brock, Gardner Corner, Sherry French, and Gucci Finesse, all getting memberships on behalf of BMAC. So, guys, if you're now a member, spam the emojis in the chat. Spam the emojis in the chat, all right? And a big shout-out to BMAC. And if you got a membership, make sure you thank Mr. BMAC, one of the biggest supporters of Jets Media. Speaking of one of the biggest supporters of Jets Media, we got LaSalle. I met LaSalle today for the first time. How awesome is that? I got to meet the legend of LaSalle in person. What an honor. LaSalle, thank you for another super chat, and thank you for your kind words. It was awesome to meet you today at practice. Frank, and to be honest, it was awesome to meet all of you at practice. If I met you today, that means you probably got a sticker on my behalf. If you guys don't know, what I usually do at practice is I bring a goodie, and if you recognize me, you get a sticker. It's that simple. If you come up to me and show some love, say, hey, Richie, what's up, man? Watch your show. Then I usually give out one of these. And yeah, so don't be shy. If you ever see me in public, I don't carry them around, but when I'm at training camp, I do. So if you catch me at training camp, I'd love to give back to you guys any way I possibly can. Right? So I appreciate you guys. Now, getting back into practice, another thing that's coming out of training camp, which is a massive deal, is the Justin Fields injury scare that we avoided. Can we all take a deep collective sigh of an exhale? Because we were all panicked, bro. We were all panicked yesterday. And now I was out there witnessing Justin Fields run, sprint. He could have practiced today. I bet you if it was game day today, he could have played. Like, that dislocated toe is going to be healed in a second. That guy looked like he could have practiced. He was itching, actually. I thought he was about to jump in. So, man, Justin Fields, and he's a tough quarterback, by the way. He played through broken ribs with Chicago. He's as tough as they come, okay? He's as tough as they come. So, big shout out to Mr. Justin Fields. Absolutely love to see that he's okay. Now let's get into some practice highlights from today. Garrett Wilson just keeps doing Garrett Wilson things. Now, he didn't really have a flash highlight reel type of play today, but I do remember watching this while I was at practice, and it was a thing of beauty to watch just because anything he do looks smooth, man. This was a nice little out route. I noticed on the 2-minute drill to finish off practice, this play right here, they ran twice. And it was Garrett Wilson lined up in the slot on 2nd and long, and Garrett Wilson just ran a quick out route. Tyrod got the ball out to him, and Garrett will pick up the first down. So right here, that's what you're seeing. It was 2nd and 8 or something like that, 2nd and 10 maybe, and Garrett was lined up in the slot, Tyrod drops back, floats it up to Garrett Wilson. He picks up the first down. They move the chains. And then if you guys want to know what happened at the end of that drill, they went all the way down to the red zone, right? And then Tyrod Taylor tries to squeeze it to Mason Taylor. Brandon Stevens gets the pass breakup. Excellent coverage. And then the third and final play, 3rd and goal, trying to score a touchdown to finish practice. Nope. Andre Cisco gets the interception. They're saying Cisco had 2 interceptions. I'm pretty sure the first interception doesn't count because there was a penalty. I think that was the play, if I'm not mistaken, where Stevens had a pass breakup on Garrett Wilson, which the ball popped up in the air, and then Cisco dove and picked it off, but they called a penalty on Brandon Stevens. He was draped all over Garrett Wilson. He was early contact. I'm pretty sure the ref called a flag. That's why you want refs there. And they called it interception, but I saw the ref call flag, so that's why I didn't really say Cisco had 2 picks. But hey, flag or not, he still was able to see the ball in the air and dive and catch it, so it was pretty dope. Andre Cisco, he has that ball hawk in him, and that's an element to this New York Jets secondary that we desperately need, man. That's an element to this secondary that we haven't had in a long time. So, hey, I'm not complaining about Andre Cisco getting an interception, even if it doesn't count at practice. It's practice. And it was not him that had the penalty. It was Brandon Stevens. So I'm excited to see what he looks like as he continues to progress. But the highlight of today was Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor, absolutely fantastic diving catch in the back of the end zone. I mean, you absolutely love to see it, bro. You absolutely love to see this right here. Mason Taylor is going to be an absolute stud, okay? He is already lining up with the number ones, by the way. The Jets are not telling him to work his way up the depth chart. They're not saying you're tight end 3 or 2. You got to earn your stripes. No, they are giving him tight end number 1 right away. And we all knew that he was going to be tight end number 1. That's not like surprising news, but it's just, sometimes coaches like to put the rookies in a situation to earn their spot, right? Didn't they do that with Sauce when he first got drafted? I could be wrong. But yeah, Mason Taylor, I mean, when's the last time the Jets had a tight end that can make a diving catch like this? And I know it's just practice, but seriously, bro, look. The coverage is not bad from Cisco. The ball from Tyrod is also a dot. It's 7-on-7, no pass rush. But he fully extends and then uses his body as a pillow because usually, if he did not spin around and drop on his back, the ball could have popped out. But he used the floor as contact to flip onto his back to secure the catch. That's a touchdown, man. I think Mason Taylor could lead the Jets in touchdowns this year if it's not going to be Garrett Wilson, because I think he's going to be a giant red zone threat. Garrett's going to lead the team in receptions and yards, guaranteed. But I think Mason Taylor could potentially... Garrett's going to lead in touchdowns too. Let's be honest. He's about to go crazy. But Mason Taylor, I think, is going to at least be second. At least be second. All right? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. LaSalle, another super chat. Thank you so much, LaSalle. Wish I could go to more camp, but I missed out on the ticket. I'll just wait for Jets Media Day. I'm glad I at least went to one. Well, LaSalle, it's great to meet you, and I'll see you week number 1 for Jets Media Day. By the way, guys, if you want to come to Jets Media Day, the tickets are still available. We have around 20-ish so tickets left for week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The link is in the description of the video right now, so if you guys want to go check that out, feel free. I will also put the link in the chat right now if you're watching live. Appreciate you guys tuning in. But I got to remind everybody, please do me a favor. Simply hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Smash the thumbs up button. We need way more than 20 likes. Come on, folks. I drove all the way to One Jets Drive for you. I'm just kidding. Hit that like button, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now, we have some other news I wanted to highlight here because this is interesting. It's not training camp related, but it's Jets related that came out today. They revealed the NFL rivalry schedule for when we can expect the New York Jets to wear this Gotham City football jerseys 3 times this season. We also got a little teaser from the New York Jets, which I will play in a sec. But week 4, Monday Night Football, the Jets will be debuting these uniforms in Miami. And then Thursday Night Football, we're wearing them again in New England, week 11. And then we're wearing them again at home, a 1 o'clock game against the Miami Dolphins, which Roundtable Sports is considering doing an event that game, by the way. Jets-Dolphins, late in the season. Nice December football. If you're interested in that, let me know. It'll be a cheaper ticket than Jets Media Day, because Jets Media Day is the first game of the season, home opener. And Aaron Rodgers, so the price is a little bit more. But that one is not going to be as much. So if you're interested in going to that game, let me know. With the Roundtable Sports crew, of course. But yeah, this is cool. I'm curious. Let's see what the New York Jets posted in terms of the teaser trailer, because they teased exactly what the uniform is, but we still got to wait a month or so to actually see what the jersey is going to be. So take a listen in to what the Jets posted, or watch rather. I mean, it's just a white jersey. I think it's going to be black and green of some sort. But yeah, we don't really get much. We get this logo. It's just a blacked out Jets logo. Cool. It's pretty cool. They also posted like this cool little Gotham City thing. Week 14 versus Miami. Is there like an away and a home version of it? Gotham City football. It's a weird thing, but I'll take it. I like it. I'm a fan. You got me hooked. I'm intrigued. Folks, hit the thumbs up button if you didn't already. We're talking some football. Another player that had a touchdown today at practice was Malachi Corley. Malachi Corley running with the third team, by the way. Hey, he had a touchdown, man. He's got to work his way up. I know that everybody thinks like the wide receivers stink with this Jets team, but the reality is that there's a lot of guys that's competing for spots, right? It's not like, yeah, we know exactly who the 5 guys are. No, we don't. There's 6, 7 dudes competing for spots. You can argue more, right? I said it on today's video, but the starting wide receivers, the 3 starters, are Garrett Wilson, of course, Josh Reynolds, Allen Lazard. Those are the 3 receivers on the field with the starters. And then the second team has 3 receivers. Arian Smith, the Jets rookie, Xavier Gibson, and Tyler Johnson. Those are the 3 wide receivers that are with the second team. And the third team, you got Malachi Corley. So that tells you right there, Malachi Corley is behind those guys in the depth chart. He's got to beat out Xavier Gibson. If there was a guy for Malachi Corley to make the team over, it's Xavier Gibson. But the thing is, Xavier Gibson, he brings special teams value. And speaking of special teams, Andre Cisco was fielding punts today. I don't know about you, but I did not know that the Jets were going to utilize Andre Cisco as a potential punt returner. I didn't know that was in his game. It was Andre Cisco, Xavier Gibson, and the undrafted free agent wide receiver Jamal Pritchett fielding punts. And by the way, speaking of punters, our punters stink. We do not have Thomas Morstead anymore, bro. I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy, but our punters are just simply not good. They're 2 rookies. We went from the vet of Thomas Morstead, who is old reliable, to 2 punters that are competing against each other. Austin McNamara, and Kay Kroger. Both stunk. They're both rookies. They didn't do any kicks much, but the punting was not impressive. If there was one element of the game that you can live with being bad, it's punting. But I want good special teams. That is a very interesting approach that Darren Muji and Glenn are operating with. Is they have 2 punters and 2 kickers that are all rookies competing. Not one veteran, not one player that has any experience. With a rookie special teams coordinator. That's very risky. And Jets fans know what it means to have a bad kicker. It could cost you games. So I don't know. I'm not going to look too deep into it right now, but that is something to watch. Now, who stood out today? Who stood out to me? The guy that stood out to me on defense the most, 2 people. Number 1, Quincy Williams. All over the field. Everywhere. He was blanketing Breece Hall every time Breece tried to go into the end zone, and they tossed up basically a 50-50 ball for Breece, and Quincy all over him, forcing the incomplete pass twice. The first one was the back right corner of the end zone. Tyrod flew one of those moon balls, and Quincy was all over him. Would have been a touchdown if it wasn't for the good defense. And the second one, Will McDonald screamed off the edge, beat Armand Membu, got to Tyrod, but Tyrod basically flicked it to Breece Hall, underthrew him a little bit, I will say. The throw was off because of the pressure from Will McDonald, and it could have been a touchdown. If Tyrod put a better throw on that, if he lobbed it over Breece Hall's shoulder, he probably would have had Quincy beat, but he kind of underthrew it, so Breece tried to dive for it, and it was an incomplete pass. But Quincy's everywhere. There was another play where Tyrod threw a bullet. This is in the red zone, 7-on-7, from the 10-yard line to Mason Taylor, and it looked like a touchdown. But right when Taylor caught the ball, you see Quincy Williams come out of nowhere, just destroy Mason Taylor out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Now, there's no pad, so he didn't actually lower his shoulder and drive him, but he pushed him for sure. There was contact, and Quincy just absolutely leveled Mason Taylor, which saved the touchdown. So he's everywhere. And the Jets are definitely targeting Mason Taylor a lot. He's a big part of this offense. Absolutely big part of the offense. Really exciting. Really, really exciting. When it comes to the defense, who's on the field with the starters? Eric Watts is the starting defensive end right now, next to Will McDonald. Now, the good thing is, we just heard from Jermaine Johnson himself that he is going to be good to go soon. We're going to look up, and JJ is going to be practicing. Now, as we know, Jermaine Johnson is on the PUP list to start off camp. He just posted this on X this morning. Shout out to any of my Avatar The Last Airbender fans like myself. But he posted this. Just landed back from Los Angeles after checking in with my surgeon and my team out there, and I'm cleared, y'all, after I was told that these past 10 to 11 months flashed in my head, and man, was it tough. But through God's grace and guidance, I prevailed against all physical, mental, and emotional hurdles. God is so great, man. So great. Man, that warms my heart. Shout out to Jermaine Johnson. He is back from a grueling recovery. Because I don't think people understand the emotional and the mental side of these injuries to these players. It's deeper than just a physical injury. That's obviously what is hurt, but it affects your emotions. It affects your mind. But obviously he is locked in, and he is on the other side of it. He stayed mentally tough, and now he's ready to go out there and play with his defense. Because I think Jets fans forgot how good Jermaine Johnson is. I did. We all did. Just because he wasn't out there last year. So that's another big update. I expect him to be back on the practice field, I would say, in the next few weeks. They're not going to rush him out there. They're going to play it safe. He's going to be limited. All those things. Now, sticking with the defense, you got Will McDonald, who's an absolute stud. And then Eric Watts is the guy that is the opposite defensive end. He's wearing number 58, undrafted free agent from last year, I believe. Right? And it was just interesting to see he was the guy. Michael Clemens, Tyler Barron, McGregor, those are the guys that's competing for the defensive end spots. And then the starting safeties are Andre Cisco and Tony Adams. So Tony Adams, that's the guy that is slated as a starter. And I'm curious if Malachi Moore is going to steal that job from him one day. That's something to watch out for. And then you got Azareye'h Thomas, who had a fantastic day. He had a rep where he blanketed somebody. I forgot who it was. Had a pass breakup. But there's two rookies in the secondary on defense that I think has a chance to replace the starters at some point this season. They're not going to start week 1. But I think Azareye'h Thomas is going for Brandon Stevens' spot as the starting outside cornerback. And I think Malachi Moore is coming for Tony Adams' starting safety spot eventually. And if that happens, it's a good thing, honestly. I mean, Tony Adams is a cool story, undrafted free agent, didn't really have a good season last year. I was excited for him going into last season, but maybe he clicks. Maybe Tony Adams all of a sudden becomes a beast under Aaron Glenn. I mean, I don't want to write off Tony Adams right away. I don't want to write off anybody that's on this team, especially on defense. You never know what this team can do with a young guy like Tony Adams, who did show some flashes in his early stages when he first got brought up. So that's interesting. Michael Carter II, he's back out there. He's healthy. Slot corner all over the place. And then, of course, you got Sauce just absolutely locking things down. And the linebacker duo, Jamian Sherwood and Quincy Williams, is just absolutely lethal. absolutely lethal. But it's hard to evaluate. You got to get the pads on. And then we will see just that. Then we'll see everything. Then we'll see what the situation is all like. Folks, please do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up button if you did not already. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the thumbs up button. Matt says, hey, Rich, I had a tough day. Missed the stream. Anything good happened? Love the show and Roundtable Sports. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that and hope you have a great night, man. I know those tough days, they happen. All right? That's life. Tough days, but also this is one of those sayings that I love reminding people. Life is not perfect, but it has perfect moments. I'll let that just sink. I don't even need to break it down, right? But basically what happened today, the Aaron Glenn effect happened today. I was witnessing Aaron Glenn kind of yelling at this team a lot. And I'll tell you, I've never seen Robert Saleh yell at the team in training camp. I'm talking. And when I mean yell, I mean discipline yell. Stop talking and get to the practice. Focus, concentrate on what we talked about in the meetings. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. Where, for example, you have the offense just doing walkthroughs in the red zone. And you got the quarterback, running back, and then like 4 receivers. You got a tight end and 3 receivers, whatever. They're just running 7v0. There's nobody out there just running routes, running concepts. I'm trying to paint the picture for people that are not at practice of what's happening. So you got, for example, Tyrod Taylor on the field, Braylon Allen on his right hip, and then you got Garrett Wilson, Lazard, and then Mason Taylor and Josh Reynolds, right? And then they snap the ball to Tyrod. They're just running routes. They're going like 50%. They're barely even going. They're just warming up. And then after that, you see the second team come on, and the second team comes on the field, and they're kind of just like chit-chatting, and you see Aaron Glenn go in there and start clapping and like blow the whistle and like, hey, let's go. Like that is what I mean by the subtle shifts, and you can only notice it when you're there because those are the subtle nuances of coaching that I'm picking up. That's different. It's kind of like, let's go. And, it's intriguing. Aaron Glenn's not chit-chatting with coaches a lot. Of course, he's communicating with the coaches. That's what head coaches do. You got to talk to the coaches and the players. But I don't know. It just felt like there was this is how I can explain what I'm trying to translate between Robert Saleh and Aaron Glenn. Ready? This was Robert Saleh's stance at training camp. Lean back, hands crossed, like this. And then this is Aaron Glenn's stance. Ready? Leaning forward at all times, hands on his thighs and like clapping. And yeah, he's a brand new head coach. He's excited. He's fired up. Maybe Saleh was like that his first training camp. I don't know. It's not really about the comparisons between him and Saleh like I just did. I just thought that was an interesting example. But they're two different human beings. And I think the discipline that Glenn is installing in this team is felt. Like he doesn't mess around. And I think the players feel that. They respect that. And Saleh's energy was always like, hey, even if I mess around, Saleh's not going to laugh at me or get mad at me so I can get away with it. That's not how you want to run a team. It's absolutely not how you want to run a team. Right? And Aaron Glenn got all the confidence in the world in Tyrod Taylor. And honestly, if you're a Jets fan, you should too. Now, ideally, we never see Tyrod Taylor. We don't want to see Tyrod on the field because I want Justin Fields healthy. He's the young guy. We want him to be the guy, right? But if Tyrod's got to play a game or two or at any point this season he's got to play, like it's not the worst thing in the world. The Jets got a really good backup quarterback. And I still think they can win games with said quarterback, with Tyrod. And I absolutely mean that, bro. I really, really do. I think the Jets got a good one in the backup quarterback. He's a seasoned vet. You know what you're expecting with Tyrod Taylor. He's been in this league for 15 years. He also led the Buffalo Bills to the playoffs, ending their playoff drought back in 2017. So that's a positive. We got a good backup, right? He's still moving around as well at 35 years old, which is cool to see. He's still got that mobility. And according to AG, there's not a big drop-off from Fields to Tyrod Taylor. Now, Fields is going to be back, and that is the story. We want Justin Fields to be at practice. And He was there today, and I'm telling you right now, he could have practiced, bro. He could have practiced. If the Jets cleared him, he would have been fine. But they're not going to. Why would they? This was Justin Fields at practice today. He had his helmet on. He was walking around, jogging around, sprinting around. No limp. Having the football in his hand, throwing it around. He just didn't participate in anything. So, wow, is that a good thing that he's okay? Because we all saw a potential just die. But now it's back. And I'm excited to see what Justin Fields looks like when he gets back on the field. And it's important for him to get on the field, by the way. He needs reps. Because his issue's always been mentally, always been reading defenses, holding on the ball too long. Like, that comes with reps in practice, and then it comes with reps in games and getting familiar with the system. So we need Justin Fields out there as soon as possible. As soon as possible. But that's a good thing that he is A-okay. Oh, boy. That could have been bad. Now, when it comes to the offensive line, how do they look today? I'll be honest, really hard to evaluate the offensive line. There was one play where Breece Hall had a wide open touchdown at like the 5-yard line to the right side. So it was just a wide open hole opened up by, I think it was Mason Taylor, Membu, AVT. Opened up the hole for Breece Hall. But I didn't really notice much of the offensive line because without pads, I'm not really looking at them yet. When the pads go on, that's when my eyes are glued to Olu, glued to Membu, to Tippmann. No errant snaps today. That's a plus. We've seen a lot of training camps where the narrative is Joe Tippmann can't snap. So that's a plus. He's okay. Some people are asking about the undrafted free agent Quentin Skinner. Here was a play that he was out of bounds. He almost had a touchdown. See, he has his left foot in, but that right foot did not go down inbound, so it was out of bounds. He's competing with a lot of guys. Jamal Pritchett is probably the guy that's ahead of him on the depth chart, and he's got a lot of receivers to compete with, but we're going to be able to see what he's capable of in the preseason, right? In the preseason. Some other guys that was out there making some plays. Xavier Gipson had a touchdown. I'm intrigued by Xavier Gipson because he was such a flash in the pan. He was such a flash in the pan that rookie season, that game-winning touchdown on the first game of the season against the Bills, the day that who tore his Achilles. He became a hero. He was the Hard Knock star who made the team, blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't really done much. Now, quarterback update outside of Tyrod. Adrian Martinez is the backup behind Tyrod. So if you want to break down the depth chart of the quarterbacks, as it stands, Justin Fields is QB1, Tyrod Taylor is QB2, Adrian Martinez is QB3, Brady Cook, quarterback 4. And Adrian Martinez, he was a fun quarterback. We always have that one guy that people are like, oh, Chris Streveler. Oh, dude, Adrian Martinez, the future. Give him a chance. So Martinez is going to ball in the preseason, and people are going to run with it. I can't wait for it. But Brady Cook, he looked all right. They ran a read option with him. He almost had a rushing touchdown. He squeezed in a few balls. He had a touchdown pass to Malachi Corley. So that's really the quarterback update. No flashiness from the quarterbacks just yet. But Adrian Martinez is going to have an opportunity to kind of go out there in the preseason and show what he's capable of. You never know. Maybe we got something in Adrian Martinez. I'm not expecting that to be the case. But you can't rule anything out until it's ruled out. You can't rule anything out. It's not fair. AG had a new look today. He was wearing a hat. Breaking news, Aaron Glenn wears a hat. See? The difference. See that? He wears a hat, folks. Big difference. Joking. Obviously, it's not a big deal that he's wearing a hat. But I love that shirt, bro. Grind. I also got this shirt. What do you guys think of this shirt I got? I got this yesterday. I was out in Manhattan, New York City, and I went to this vintage store, and I found this Jets piece. I like it. Vintage. People ask me, yo, Richie, where'd you get that shirt? I can't give you a link. It's from a vintage store. But I love it. That's the logo I grew up on right there, and it's back. The Jets have those uniforms, which is cool. Oh, my God. Michael Clemens is bald. I didn't know that. All right. 10 sacks it is. 10 sacks it is for Michael Clemens. I didn't know he was bald. This is one of those players that if there was somebody to shock us, it's him, because I think every single Jets fan looks at Michael Clemens as he stinks and he's a bust and he's just a liability and he has no positive energy to us at all, right? I don't know. Maybe Michael Clemens got his contract year for him, right? What if Aaron Glenn and this team, maybe he's a big dude, bro. He's one of those guys you want on your team. That's what I'm going to say about him. He's one of those guys you're going to want on your team. All right? Now, let's talk about the Jets tight ends, because Jeremy Ruckert opened up practice with a big gain. It was the first play of 11 on 11 today. It was a beautiful pass, 15 yards down the left sideline, Tyrod to Ruckert. I think it was a deep out route. And I think Ruckert is going to be involved in this offense, but we know who the tight end number 1 is already, and that's Mason Taylor. I think that duo of Taylor and Ruckert is going to be really fun. I'm really excited. And I'm high on Jeremy Ruckert. I think he's going to have his best season as a Jet. And not even just statistically, just impact. Right? Stats don't matter. Just how do you impact this team to win? How do you make winning plays? That's really what matters. I don't care about box score. How do you go out there and help this team win? Right? And Mason Taylor already is like heavily involved. Heavily. Man, fantasy football, I would recommend drafting Mason Taylor. I don't know where he's going in drafts, but I bet you he's going late. And tight ends is always that interesting position in fantasy that you want to hit. Because if you can get a good tight end in fantasy for a good value, that's going to help. I don't want to spread some Jets propaganda on fantasy because I do tend to do that often every year because I'm just waiting to be right one of these days. Maybe it is Mason Taylor. He's probably going late. That's why I bring him up, though. You know, you want to get those guys that's going late in the draft, which would be very fun. Now, this is a battle at practice that I'm intrigued by because Brandon Stephens, you know, I feel like everyone, including myself, I'll put my hand up and admit, like, yeah, I got not a lot of expectations for Brandon Stephens. I'm not looking at him like, yeah, dude, he's going to be a stud. He could. I don't think anyone expected DJ Reed to be as good as he was. But Brandon Stephens versus Garrett Wilson, it's interesting. He had one good play at practice today, Stephens. He had another play where he got called for a penalty. But yeah, man, the thing about Stephens that I'm intrigued by is his length. And if he can learn to just whip his head around and locate the football in the air, he could be really good because he's got the athleticism, he's got the size, he's got the length, but he just doesn't have the ability to like locate the football and not get mossed. Like it's just like every time that highlight that Garrett Wilson had yesterday, that was on him, of course, mossing him. See, this is a great picture right here. This is a picture. This next picture I'm about to show you guys exactly what I mean by what happened at practice today. Okay? Justin Fields looking on as the quarterbacks practice. So this is a cool photo because Justin Fields, you can tell by this photo, he's itching to practice. This is an individual drill where the quarterbacks just drop back to work on footwork. It's just a drill, individual quarterback drill. And Justin Fields has a football in his hand, catching it and just like high stepping, and he's so antsy to practice, but they're holding him back. This was all day. Justin Fields had a football in his hand all day, and he was observing practice, going through all the reps mentally. He was attached to the hip of Tyrod Taylor as he went through practice. So I like this photo a lot, actually, because he's itching to get on that practice field today. So, Fields, we're excited to have you back. We are very excited to have you back. And I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to see Fields in person for the first time, man. I want to see what he looked like. I mean, I did get to see him. I mean, he did participate in some. I mean, look, this photo. This was today. In case you're worried about Fields' injury, he was dropping on that back foot with no issues at all. No limp. If you're still worried, I would not be worried about that. I would not be worried about that, man. Here's AG in action on the sidelines. Jamin Davis, who is a one linebacker I think no one's talking about. He's the primary backup behind Sherwood and Quincy. He's the third linebacker right now. Free agent acquisition, Jamin Davis. But look at AG. Hands on his back, looking around like, what you got for me? What you got? All right. This is a cool pick, too. I love these photos. Shout out to the Jets photography team, snipping all these amazing moments at practice. Tyrod chopping up a Quincy, and you got Aaron Glenn just chilling, hand on his hat, saying what up. Absolutely love things, man. Love these things. Love these images, bro. We're seeing moments captured. What do you guys think? Moments captured. Let's see what other photos they got. Oh, look at this guy. The forgotten superstar, Quinnen Williams. Folks, if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Cannot thank you guys enough. Big time for liking the show right here, right now. How many like buttons do we have smashed as we are live breaking down my biggest takeaways after witnessing the New York Jets in person for the first time this season? We got 50 likes. We can do better than that. Smash that like button if you guys are enjoying the show. It's free of charge to hit the like button, and I would appreciate it, guys, if you can do just that. If you can do just that. I'm intrigued by Steve Wilks, bro. I am intrigued by Steve Wilks. What do you guys think? I am intrigued by Steve Wilks. I'm intrigued because I just am very curious to see what type of system he implements. Right? What type of scheme is he implementing to this football team? It's going to be very different. A lot of blitzing, man coverage. That's something that the Jets did not do under Robert Saleh much. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what this defense is capable of. What are you guys' thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts? Safety blitzing. Yeah. Andre Sisco, I saw blitzing. We're going to see a lot of players blitz. Michael Carter is going to get blitzed. Sauce will get blitzed. Stevens will get blitzed. That's new. And that's what I mean. Like, is that not exciting, Jets fans? New? I love it. Fresh energy. Something different, because whatever was going on last season, last regime, failed, didn't work. We don't want it. We don't want anything to do. I want the Jets to do whatever they did with Saleh the opposite way, backwards. Just do everything opposite. And then I think we'll actually go to the playoffs. Now, Colin Cowherd is out there saying that he sees the Jets winning 10 games based off of the schedule. I don't know. I'm not going to buy into that. We got Lou B, Super Jets fan in the chat. $10 Super Chat. Thank you, Lou. It was great meeting you today. I was sick yesterday watching you report live about Justin, but seeing him today put air back in my lungs. I'm very happy now. Go Jets. Thank you so much. Lou, it was awesome to meet you, man. It's awesome to meet so many Jets fans at training camp. Probably one of my favorite parts of Jets training camp is meeting Jets fans like Lou and Lissell. Lou, I appreciate it. Everybody give Lou some dono hype in the chat. Dono hype in the chat. Let's go. Have you seen Malachi Moore highlights? More blitzing off the edge would be fire. Yes, that would be elite. That would be elite. I think Malachi Moore is someone that's going to try to steal Tony Adams' role. All right? That's something to keep in mind. But I'll be back at practice tomorrow. So if you're going to... anybody in the chat going to be there tomorrow? Is there anybody in the chat that's going tomorrow? Let me know. Let me know. It was interesting. I was there alone today. And my routine was I left practice, drove to a coffee shop in Morristown. I just Googled a random one. Filmed that video that I uploaded. Filmed the video from my car right outside the coffee shop. right when I was finished filming the video that is out now. I highly recommend you guys go watch it because that is more of the detailed report of what I saw at practice. Make sure you guys go check that out right now if you didn't already. It's me in my car. Recorded it, went into the coffee shop, got some coffee, edited this video up, uploaded it 6 hours ago, and it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. And then I drove home, 2 hours, stuck in traffic. I stopped for lunch on the way, which definitely extended it. But hey, man, if you can listen to a good sports talk radio, WFAN, shout out. I'm a big WFAN fan. Listening to Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms this morning on the way into camp, which was cool. And then I like Brandon Tierney. I don't know if you guys know any of these guys. Brandon Tierney, Jets fan. I like his stuff. And then Evan Roberts. There was some baseball stuff. And then I listened to some other podcasts on the way. But yeah, that's just a little about me. No train? Nah, bro. You can't take a train out there. Nah, man. I don't think you can. I don't think there's a train out there. Yeah, and Sims was filling in for Gio. Sims is not the co-host of that radio show. It's usually Gio, Boomer and Gio. But he was filling in. It was fun, man. It was fun. Jason says, I'm working at training camp on Thursday. If you're coming, Richie. Good to know, Jason. Great to know. Let's go. But yeah, guys, there's a lot of fun things that happened today at practice. It was great to be there. It's great to be there. For some reason, I was thinking MetLife. Yeah, the Jets facility is not at MetLife. It's in Florham Park, New Jersey, which is deeper into Jersey. A little deeper in. And it's really nice, that area. I'm not going to lie. As a Long Islander who grew up in Long Island, New York, and never really been to Jersey much, that area, North Jersey, it's nice, man. I like that area. I'm not going to lie. It's a nice area. I was walking around town a little bit, doing my thing, and I was soaking in the Jersey vibes. Because you know what? People are like, dude, you're not from New York Jets. You're New Jersey Jets. You know what? I'm embracing New Jersey. And I know we have a lot of New Jersey people watching my show. I have nothing against New Jersey. Why can't New Yorkers and New Jersey people get along more? Huh? We don't got to pin against each other. We're all one giant family. Even though New York has better pizza and bagels. We're not going there. Even though New York has better everything. Oh, okay. There it comes. My New York side came out of me. But hey, had to. Come on. Hey, you guys enough love. All right. Let's do it. Linda Jackson says, Richie, I was watching your channel today. You did a great job. I always watch your channel. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. Chargers and Rams play in Inglewood, California. Yes, they do. The best views of New York are from New Jersey. I'm not going to lie, man. When I was driving back home, I love the view. I don't really see the view of Manhattan from that perspective, that side. And when I do see it, I'm impressed. I'm like, damn, it's nice. It's nice. Uh-oh, now we're sparking a war between us after saying that, huh? Where's AVT? AVT's chilling at right guard. That's where he's at. He's having a good time, blocking, learning the playbook, feeling good. Vibes are high. Oh, we have some breaking NFL news. Shamar Stewart finally got his contract. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I think that is not Jets-related news, but hey, that's big. AVT up next for extension. Yes, he is. But he's not going to get an extension until he starts. If the Jets go 10 games and AVT's healthy all 10 games and he's playing good football, he'll get an extension mid-season. That's how I look at it. The Jets are probably going to want to see AVT stay healthy for a little bit, play good football in their system before they commit to him long-term. Anybody else, I don't think there's going to be another contract extension until the season starts. Which is okay, by the way. And if it does, I'll be happy. The Jets want to set that precedent of being a win-now team that extends their own. Okay? Exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. But, yeah, guys, I don't really got much else. That's my thoughts of everything that I've taken away from New York Jets training camp so far. I appreciate everybody that consistently shows the support and the love to the channel. I am doing my best to report on the New York Jets training camp as best as I possibly can. It's all for you guys. I take what I do as serious as I possibly can. I've been up since like 5 a.m., so I'm running on fumes, and I'm going to have to wake up at 5 a.m. again tomorrow and take another commute. I was in my car for like 4 or 5, 6 total hours, going all the way from Long Island, New Jersey, and back, and now I'm going back again tomorrow. That's because I love what I do, man. I'm not sitting here complaining whatsoever. I am enjoying every second of the commute there and back because being at practice, it fuels me, man, and I absolutely love it. And maybe one day I can get credentials so I can go there to more practice outside of just the fans, but we'll see. We'll see. So I got to get some rest. I'm running on fumes, folks. It's because I got to get ready to go for tomorrow morning, but I love you guys. Hopefully, I'll see you there. If you're at practice, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Jets Nation, can I get up? I'm out. Love you guys, and let's go Jets. Peace.